Picture this. God brings you into a room and says, "This is what awaits you in hell." You look inside and you're surprised by what you see. It's not the fire and torment you might expect. No, it's a beautiful room with tables full of delicious food, banquets that would satisfy anyone's hunger. But here's the strange part. Everyone in the room is starving. You look at their faces and you see hunger, desperation, emptiness. So you ask, why? There's food everywhere. Why are they starving? God explains, in hell, you can only eat with chopsticks, but the chopsticks are 6 feet long. If you try to touch the food, your hand disappears. These people, they're tormented by their own inability to satisfy their hunger. Years of struggling, years of suffering, and yet they remain hungry. Then you ask, Lord, can you show me what awaits for me in heaven? And he does. To your surprise, heaven looks almost the same. There's the same beautiful room, the same banquets of food, and the same long chopsticks. But here, the people are different. They are well-fed, joyful, and content. So naturally you ask, are the rules the same here as in hell? God replies, yes, the rules are exactly the same. Confused, you look around and finally realize the difference. In heaven, the people aren't struggling to feed themselves. They are using those same chopsticks to feed each other. You see, the only difference between heaven and hell is you. How you choose to live, how you choose to treat others. Will you fight to serve yourself or open your heart to serve those around you? This story teaches you something profound about life, doesn't it? It's not just about the afterlife. It's about how you're living today, this very moment. You have the power to create heaven or hell in your life, based on how you choose to treat others, based on whether you focus only on yourself or whether you live to help others. If you spend your life focused on what you don't have, on trying to satisfy your own desires, your own hunger, then life can feel like a living hell. You'll always be reaching, always striving, but never feeling full. You'll be holding those 6-foot chopsticks, trying desperately to feed yourself. But no matter what you do, if you use your gifts, your time, your energy to bless the people around you, then life changes. Suddenly the struggles don't seem so heavy. The challenges don't feel as overwhelming, because when you lift others up, you find that you are lifted up in return. The Bible tells you, love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew 22:39. That's not just good advice, it's a blueprint for how to live. When you put others first, when you care for the people around you, you unlock the door to joy, to peace, and to fulfillment. You don't find happiness by grabbing for more. You find it by giving. And I want to remind you of something else. Sin thrives in selfishness. When you focus only on yourself, that's when sin finds its way into your heart. Greed, pride, anger, envy, those are all born out of a self-centered life. But you don't have to live that way. When you choose to put others first, when you choose to live in a way that pleases God, sin starts to lose its grip on you. Living a pure, faithful life isn't always easy. I know that. There will be days when you feel like those people in hell, hungry, frustrated, wondering why things aren't working out the way you planned. But those are the moments when you need to remember that you aren't in this life alone. You have people around you who need you, who are depending on you, just as much as you need them. When you feed others, when you take care of their needs, when you love them, encourage them, help them, you find that your needs are taken care of in return. That's the beauty of living for God. You're never left hungry when you're busy feeding others. Now, faithfulness, what does that look like for you? The world will try to tell you that you need to look out for yourself, that you need to focus on your own success, your own happiness. But the Lord tells you something different. He tells you to trust Him, to have faith that when you live according to His will, everything else will fall into place. Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Matthew 6:33. What does that mean in your life? It means that when you're faced with a decision, a choice, whether to focus on yourself or to help someone else, you choose generosity. You choose love. You choose the path that pleases God. It means that when sin tries to tempt you, you remember that your strength comes from the Lord. You aren't fighting this battle alone. God is with you, guiding you, giving you the strength you need to resist sin and live. When you live this way, when you live with faith, love, and selflessness, you start to experience a little bit of heaven right here on earth. It's not just about what happens when you die, it's about how you live every single day. Heaven isn't just a future destination, it's a way of life. When you walk in God's will, when you live according to His commandments, you find peace, joy, and fulfillment in your daily life. You don't have to wait for eternity to experience God's blessings. They are available to you right now, in every moment, in every decision. So I'm asking you, how will you choose to live today? Will you keep reaching with those long chopsticks, trying to satisfy your own desires? Or will you use what you've been given to bless the people around you? Remember, you have the power to make your life a little piece of heaven. It starts with a choice to live for others, to fight against sin, to stay faithful to the Lord, and to trust that in the end, it's not about what you get, but what you give. That's the secret to true happiness, true fulfillment, and true peace. You are not alone in this journey. God is with you every step of the way. And when you choose to live in His will, when you choose to serve others, to love others, and to stay faithful to Him, you will find that life is far more beautiful, far more joyful, and far more fulfilling than you ever imagined. This is your heaven.